Hello world, Michael here. CI/CD is one of the big bad boogeyman of software development. It might be the single biggest topic non-developers have a hard time understanding. Well, aside from testing and development and timelines and estimations. Well, never mind, non-developers just don't get software development. But part of the confusion on CI/CD is actually our fault because we still can't quite agree on what the CD stands for. The CI is easy, it's continuous integration, basically combining all the work that all your developers are doing into one place. But the CD, well, that definition depends on who you ask. It can be continuous delivery or continuous deployment, and those are not the same thing. Continuous delivery is where teams produce software in short cycles, ensuring that the software can be reliably released at any time so you don't have to wait every 3 months to get new features to your users. While continuous deployment is where software features are delivered frequently through automated deployments. There's a difference. But let's be honest, for this video, the difference is about as relevant to us as the moon landing is to a kitten. What is relevant though is the things you have to think about before you even create your first CI/CD pipeline. With that in mind, here are a few things you should consider before you get started with CI/CD. Let's get on with it. Number 5, do you even need it? Yes, you do. Now, normally I would have moved on, but last time I tried that, I got tied to a chair and told to elaborate, so let's just do that without the rope. CI/CD has many benefits that make it indispensable to large projects. It reduces risk, creates a smoother path to production, helps find and fix bugs faster, automates testing and code quality, simplifies rollbacks, reduces costs. The list is literally endless. So, if you have several developers working on the same code base and need to push out a lot of features, then definitely yes. If on the other hand, you're a lone developer working on a passion project the world will never see, maybe you don't need it, but it might make your life easier. So, do you need CI/CD? Maybe, but yes you do. Number 4. Complexity. CI/CD can get very complicated very fast, and if you're not careful, it can quickly get out of hand. The trick is to try to make sure the complexity matches your need. Much like software projects, not all CI/CD service providers and softwares are made equal. Some offer simple, easy-to-use solutions, while others let you tweak everything, and I mean everything. We can see this by looking at the results of the 2022 Developer Ecosystem Survey by JetBrains. GitHub Actions was the most popular CI/CD tool for personal use, while Jenkins was the most popular for companies. And it makes sense. GitHub Actions is easier to use and faster to get started with, while Jenkins is infinitely scalable and can be adapted to even the weirdest scenarios you can dream up. I'm willing to bet that you can make Jenkins bake cookies given enough time and effort. Both options also have some downsides. For example, GitHub Actions, you are limited to GitHub's infrastructure and you need a dedicated administrator for Jenkins. It's all about trade-offs, so you have to put in some thoughts about complexity. Number 3, location, aka cloud versus on-premise. An on-premise solution is one that you host on your machines that run in your data center or basement, while a cloud-based solution runs on cloud infrastructure, which is just a fancy way of saying someone else's computer. Much like complexity, both have pros and cons, and you need to take them into account before you get started. For example, if your needs are maximum security, full control, and potentially lower costs, then you should look into an on-premise solution. On the other hand, if all you want is faster setup, easy scalability, and great reliability, then cloud-based solutions might be for you. This is doubly important because migrating might be very difficult or even impossible if you do not choose right. So evaluate your needs now and then try to think of what your future needs could look like. That will help a lot. Number 2, compatibility. This might seem obvious, but it bears saying. Not everything supports everything. One of the key considerations for choosing a pipeline is whether it supports your dev environment and your solution. Here's a contrived example. Some pipelines are Linux-based and it won't do to try hosting .NET applications on them. It's contrived because it's technically not true. You can use containers to work around this, but it's probably better just to use Azure pipelines in that case. Another example is if you use GitLab as your code repository, then maybe GitHub Actions isn't the best idea. The takeaway here is whatever solution you choose to use has to work well with the rest of your project. Even the best solution in the world is useless if it doesn't play nice with your code. Number 1, the cost. In the end, it all comes down to the cost. One way or another, you will have to pay. There are no two ways about it. In software, much like in life, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Even when you consider free software like Jenkins, free isn't always free. So while Jenkins, the software, is free, as in free beer, you still have to pay for hosting it, you still have to pay the admin. Even if the admin is one of your developers, the time they spend setting it up and administrating it could have been used to build new features that bring in money. Nothing is free. The cost of your CI/CD solution can be measured in dollars or hours, and it's up to you to decide which currency you want to pay with and how much you're willing to spend. And that's our list. CI/CD is a fascinating topic and can be a little scary for the uninitiated, but luckily, it's actually one of the things we do here at Janksters. So if you're looking to get started or have some concerns or you just want to consult, send us a message. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, happy coding.